after all of your hemming and hawing, after everything all
No.
the crap you talked about Arizona, how you wanted to drill them into the ground, you have them going to the Final Four.
You're going to be surprised at what happened. But my hemming and hawing was when they were a number 15, a number 2 seed.
We are Sports Chat with Greg and Bryan. I'm Bryan.
I'm Greg, and we're going to go through, it's March Madness. So we're going to go through the brackets and let you know how well we're going to do.
Hey, and how much, okay, I'm just going to ask, how much research have you done for this?
None.
Really?
No, I did a little.
Okay, because I'm just going to show you. This is all the research that I have done right here. That's it. Who was the Big Five conferences, who won their conference, and who won the tournament. And if you won the conference and the tournament, you get a little bit of a thumbs up. But
you mean like you're going to like the conference tournament and subscribe to the conference tournament?
That's exactly it. Like and subscribe. This is probably going to be a very interesting conversation.
I had no way understand what directions this is going to go. Okay. We could get off the rails.
That's right.
Probably not though. But anyway, like and subscribe, give us a comment on what you think about what we're talking about. But Bryan, this might be the year that your theory of someone that won their conference championship is going to win. Because there's some really good teams in there that did not win their conference championship.
That's what I'm saying.
And I got some other comments about how some teams got number ones over other teams.
All right. Well,
but anyway, let's first get into just the bracket in general. All right. So there it is. Can we read it? That's the bracket.
All right.
All 68 teams. I believe Lehigh is playing right now versus Prairie View for their to be able to go lose to a number 1 team after this. But you know what? Hey, they made it. And they weren't expected to make it. Neither of those 2 teams was expected to win their conference championship.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What that did is it kicked somebody else out, though.
Yeah.
Because Miami of Ohio made it in.
Miami of Ohio did?
Well, they made it in, and they're playing. I think they're playing tonight also against SMU.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So they made it into the 68. So let's get into.
Well, I'm just saying, if it had been 244,
they ought to make
this would have been a rip roaring. Now we'd have really tried to find
this
out.
Would have been a
multi-episode.
So we're going to start with the East, and then we'll go to the South. All right.
Sounds good.
So here's the bracket for the East.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, and these are my picks, Bryan.
Okay, let me see.
You will see that, and I went with a pretty good theory of I think a number 1's going to win it all. And I really, really, really like Duke.
Okay.
I was really, first of all, for UCLA to win was a hard pick for me.
Okay.
Because if I was going to, I think that UCF, that was a tosser. That was definitely a toss up for me. And typically I would go against UCLA, but you know what? I think they're going to win that game.
In my bracket, I picked UCF, but I also looked at it, I said it doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter because they're going to lose to UConn next.
Yeah, and so I didn't. It didn't bother me at all.
I think UConn can win this thing.
They won't.
I'm just telling you, I think they can.
And
they're very well coached.
Right.
They're very good. So the crazy thing is. Well, I won't talk about it until I get to that bracket.
Okay, that's good.
But this is my bracket.
Now, okay, I'm gonna throw something out here that bothers me about this bracket.
This particular bracket.
And it's St. John's. St. John's.
Hold on. Before you get into that, don't go too deep into St. John's.
Okay, I'm just gonna go on my surface level.
Mm-hmm.
St. John's won their conference, and they won their conference tournament.
This is the hardest bracket. This is the most difficult bracket.
And then on top of it, UConn is in the same conference as St. John's, in the Big East. Why they put those two schools in this bracket
Well,
is mind-numbingly ridiculous.
did you happen to look at? But by the way, the Big East only got 3 bids, like I told
Right.
you.
Yes.
You're right. Why can't they spread them out? But like I said, sometimes. And why did UConn get a 2 and St. John's got a 5?
Right. When St. John's beat them
Exactly.
in the regular season and
Beat
in
them
the
3
conference
times.
tournaments. Right. I'm with you.
There's other issues that I'm going to look at. Hopefully it comes up in maybe the next one. I don't know, but it'll come up in the next one, because here's the crazy thing. Florida gets a 1.
Okay.
Every single number 2 team had a better record than Florida.
Florida,
They didn't win their conference championship.
No.
St. John's won their conference championship and they got a 5.
Okay, just a second though. But Florida won the league season in the SEC.
I don't care.
They won the conference.
They did not win the conference. The conference championship is the winner of the conference championship.
Okay, but just a second. During their regular season, Florida was like 18-1 or so, 18-2 in their conference games. They won the conference. That's how they got the number 1 seed in the SEC. And you can look it up.
They ultimately ended up losing to Arkansas in the championship game.
They made it to the championship game.
They're not that good.
Maybe.
They have a worse record than every other number 2 and a number 5.
Maybe. Florida was told you need to lose so that we can get another team into the
Arkansas
tournament.
was going to get in anyway. That only happens in SEC football, right? When Georgia lost so that Alabama could get in, and then they played in the championship game, and they came back and won it all. But I think I was right about how many teams were going to get in out of each division. SEC got 10. And all that other stuff. It's kind of crazy what's going on. But that's my bracket right there, Brian.
Okay. Well, my difference is I think Florida's going to go to the Final Four. It's not going to be there. I think Florida's going to the Final Four. I think they're good enough. I don't see the only school that could probably beat Florida would be Houston, but I don't think Houston's going to do it. I think it's Florida.
Houston's going to beat Nebraska. I think Nebraska's going to beat Florida.
Well, we will find out. The other one that was hard for me on this one was St. Mary's and Texas A&M.
That was a hard one for me also.
I think Texas. I kind of waffled a little bit, but I also figured it really doesn't matter because whoever plays Houston is going to lose.
Yeah, I think Houston. The 7-10s were the harder ones for me rather than the 12-5s.
Right.
I felt. I could be 100% wrong, but notice I don't have North Carolina going past.
Neither did I.
And
I didn't even have North Carolina winning their first round. I figured VCU was going to beat them.
VCU, they won their conference championship game.
North Carolina didn't even make it to the semifinals.
I know. Different conference championship. I have that in a different spreadsheet. I should have. But yeah. So I think. I mean, looking at my brackets, you're seeing that in order to win brackets, you have to take the 1s and 2s to play in the championship game of each thing.
Yeah, I would think so.
And then you can get all these other games, whatever you want. So let's jump over to the West.
All right. Oh my God. I cannot believe you did that. I cannot believe after all of your hemming and hawing, after everything, all the crap you talked about Arizona, how you wanted to drill them into the ground, you have them going to the Final Four.
You're going to be surprised at what happened. But my hemming and hawing was when they were a number 15, a number 2 seed.
But they still, even as a number 1 seed, they don't do that well.
But my big thing was the number 2 seed. The only team as a number 2 seed to lose twice of the 11
Okay.
teams. That was all my hemming and hawing. You got to remember that. They are in probably the easiest, other than they have to play Purdue.
And Purdue was the 8th seed in their conference championship game.
They were ranked in the top like 5 at the beginning of the season.
Doesn't matter.
It does if someone was hurt during the conference and now comes back and is playing.
Okay. My point is they were number 8 in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And just through the grace of God, they managed to get through and win the conference championship.
And that's what got them here. They were playing better at the end of the season if you look at their schedule.
All right.
I have them going and losing to Arizona.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, I cannot believe you. I looked at this and I went, okay, Arizona is going to beat Long Island. Arizona is going to end up playing against Wisconsin. I had Wisconsin in the round of 16, and Wisconsin's going to win. Wisconsin's going to beat them. That's my thought. And then Texas will beat Purdue. And then it's going to be Wisconsin in the Final Four.
Wait a second. Hold on.
Wisconsin's a 5 seed.
You think Texas is going to beat Purdue?
I do.
Where do they play each other? Do I have this wrong? Because they beat the play-in game for Texas, North Carolina State. You think that they're going to?
That Texas is going to be North Carolina State? Yes.
Well, they already beat them.
Yeah.
In like they were up by 7, almost lost the game.
Don't care. Texas.
You think Texas is going to beat Purdue?
Yes.
To get into the round of 8.
Correct.
8.
Upsets, baby. There's always that team that makes the magic run, and I'm putting it on Texas to get there.
The 66th team in the conference in the thing.
You know what? Stranger things have happened. There's got to be that Cinderella story somewhere, and I'm putting it on Texas.
See, I got Arkansas because I like them. I like their coach, but they are playing hurt, and I'm really banking on them not getting in foul trouble.
Okay.
Through the first 2 rounds. That's what I'm banking on. To beat Wisconsin. That's what I'm banking on. But
Eric, I'm just saying I cannot believe that you would go with Arizona.
Arizona might be the second best team in the nation.
Just a second though. Arizona won their tournament and they won their conference.
Mm-hmm.
That gives them the Bryan.
And they beat Houston, and Houston's really good.
And that gives them Bryan's seal of approval.
The Big 12 is probably the best conference in the nation, the best competitive conference in the nation. They have their top 5 or 6 are all good.
Okay.
I mean, BYU got a 6 seed.
They're going to lose in the first round.
To Texas.
That's my Cinderella story. I'm sticking to it. I just can't believe that you stuck with Arizona. I mean, really.
They're really good. And they're in probably the easiest bracket.
Okay.
And they're on the West Coast.
Just a second. For those of you watching at home, if you have watched any of our previous videos, Greg has pooped all over Arizona all year long, and now he's
all year long. We've been doing this for a month, right?
for every time I brought up Arizona, Greg has poo-pooed them, and I've had to stand up for the Wildcats.
But you're missing the point, Brian. It was when they were a 15. They're
No,
not.
they were a 2.
They were a 2. They're not a 2. They're a 1.
They still didn't win the national championship when they were a 1. They won it when they were a 4.
Did they play in the national championship game when they were a 1?
I don't know.
Well, we're gonna find out. Let's move on to the Midwest, because we may be here for a while.
Okay. So
I can't believe Michigan got a number one also,
Well, they made it to their conference championship game,
and they lost
but they won the Big
to a
Ten.
team that you said shouldn't even be in the tournament.
That's
apparently.
but
Okay, so
they-
let's get real. If they lost to a team you think shouldn't be in the tournament, how can they get a number one?
They had
Them
a
in
bad
Florida.
You know, I take the human element into all of these things into account. That players can have off nights, that they can get caught by a defense that they had not seen before.
They
Yeah,
played Purdue twice. They played Purdue throughout the season.
that's true, but Purdue might have changed them up a little
I'm
bit.
sure they did.
And Michigan may have been walking in there thinking, okay, we just have the horses.
I think that's what happened.
We can beat them.
But
and they didn't coach them up right.
But it doesn't. They should not get a number one because they made that mistake. Doesn't mean they're not going to go to the Final Four. They're going to get a number two.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
I believe they're one of the best 4 teams in the nation. But they didn't win their conference championship.
Okay.
And that's just me being.
They won their conference, though. They were the number 1 seed in their conference. They won the conference
championship.
They won the conference. All year long, they beat the snot out of every other team in the Big 10 or the Big 25 or whatever they are now.
Hey, when you go to war, if you win the battle but don't win the war, who do they remember?
They remember who won the war.
Okay. There we go. So there you have it. So
maybe that last game was just a battle. It was another battle along to the bigger thing, which is the war.
Okay, so that could be, but in the conferences, in order to win a conference, the final is the conference championship. That's why they have them.
All right.
All right, so let's move on, Brian.
Okay, well, just a second.
Hold on. You want me to hold on a second?
Just for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So I have Michigan going to the Final Four.
And I don't.
Right. You've got Iowa State.
Mm-hmm.
I have Iowa State losing to Kentucky.
That can happen.
So that's where I put them. And I figured that Tennessee would probably beat Kentucky, Tennessee, and then plays Michigan in the Elite Eight. And then Michigan makes it to the Final
So you think
Four.
a number 6 is going to make it to the...
Yeah, that's within the realm. It's not as wild of a shot as Texas, but...
I mean, Tennessee was the 5th best team in the SEC.
Yeah, SEC, they play pretty good basketball.
Well, tied for the 5th with A&M, who you don't think has a shot, or Vanderbilt.
No, Vandy, no.
Well, I mean, hey, they played well enough.
All right.
Actually, hold on a second. Yeah. All right. So, how about that?
I have Duke and Florida, and then I have Wisconsin and Michigan.
So we are way off on that. The only one we have the same is Duke.
Correct. And I figured Duke will beat Florida and Michigan will beat Wisconsin.
So you got Duke and Michigan.
Correct.
That's a good game.
2 number 1s.
So I have 2 number 1s.
Right.
Arizona.
And Duke. Right. And then...
So who's going to win it all?
Duke.
You mean Duke the dog? Dookie.
I mean Duke, the basketball team.
Oh, you mean
the Blue Devils.
The Blue Devils.
That's who I've got.
And that's who I have winning it all.
Right. I think that I just think that they're the best. I think that they're going to do it. As unfortunate as that is, I think
because you don't like Duke?
I just like to see other teams win.
When was the last time Duke won the NCAA tournament?
I don't know.
So what
it's
other
probably
team?
Been a little while. I know that, but they've won the championship they've won it more than any other school. They've won it 5 times. Is it 5 or 4?
UCLA?
Okay. Well, since 1985 in this new thing. Anyways, but yeah, I've got Duke also. I think Duke is going to win.
I think they're just that much better than everybody else.
Mm-hmm. It'll be if Arizona makes it, because I've seen Arizona play. They are really good. I think that I think you're probably right. I think they are maybe the 2nd best team in the nation. I just don't see how they're going to beat Duke.
You want to know who's won an NCAA championship before Duke in the last 10 years?
Who?
North Carolina.
Huh. Well, good for them. They ain't making it this year.
They are not. UConn's won twice, Kansas. I mean, Duke won. You talk about Duke winning a lot, but they don't. I mean, they won in 2015 and they won in 2010.
Okay.
So, and they haven't even they haven't in the ones that they lost. They haven't even made it to the championship game.
Yeah.
I mean, their heyday was a long time ago, but they're good now.
Yes, they are.
So there we have it. So there's our picks. My picks. I spent many hours researching that. More hours typing it all in than I did anything else, trying to make it so y'all could see what I did. But I believe the Duke Blue Devils, and I will tell you, it's my dog Duke might have had a little bit of something to do with it.
There we go too.
Yeah. So
yep.
So tell us what you think. Give us give us a comment on who you think is going to win it all.
Right.
Other than the Big Five, conferences,
Mm-hmm.
everybody else is playing for 3 open spots based on automatic berths and the Big Five, and knowing that the Big Five are going to get 40 spots.
Right. Okay.
There's 3 available spots.
Right. We talked about this, and it's ridiculous.
It is and 2 of those spots went to St. Mary's and Santa Clara.
Yeah.
And the only other spot, in reality, was VCU, because Miami, Ohio lost.
Yeah, you're right. Had Miami of Ohio won, then they would have added another school from the Big Five conferences.
Possibly. The VCU still might have gotten in, but they probably took a spot away. VCU probably would have been might have switched with like Texas or SMU as far as where they were going to. And I'm talking about all 68 teams, by the way, not just the 64. Anyway, like and subscribe. Anything else you want to talk about this?
Nope.
So next week, before they do, we'll have our updated brackets, right, Brian?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll have my bracket.
And it'll be Brian filled it out 5 minutes ago. That's how it'll be interesting when I have to humble myself to give a lot of Brian, because he's going to beat me in the first 2 rounds.
This is all that matters right there.
I got 14 computers over here. But anyway, hope you all have a good one. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Give us a comment on what you think.